'Cause we decide together what this looks like. Life's a lesson we can rush through. This can only work if we do. Harder than the dark we see through. This can only work if we do.
All right.
Wow, that's hot, man. You like that?
I like that.
I like that.
Yeah, I do.
I appreciate it.
No, seriously, that sounds ready. You say that's the unfinished
Yeah,
version?
it's not finished yet. It's not mixed and all that good stuff. All right, so what we're here today to talk about. So first, a few housekeeping rules. So we want to make sure. I know it's like not a natural thing, but anytime we talk, you want to make sure you talk like just directly to the mic. You know what I mean, so they can hear you.
Okay.
So if you want to scoot up closer to the mic, that's cool. You know what I mean, but you got to talk like directly in it. Actually, if you use your headphones, you can hear yourself.
Right.
Like, can you hear yourself?
Yeah, really good.
Yes, I
But
can.
lean forward and see how clear it is.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
right there.
Yeah, so make sure you that distance that we can
I
hear.
didn't realize I sounded this good.
All right. So what we are here to talk about today, the new song that I'm putting out is We Do. So it's about relationships and making it work. And I figure what better people to have a conversation with than the men that I grew up with, my father, my uncles. You know, all y'all have been married, you know, some more than others, you know what I mean? A few times more than others, you know what I mean? But, you know what I mean?
Say that.
Do it till you get it right.
Do it till you get it right. So that's what we're here to talk about. So the song is about relationships and making it work. And so because you guys have had that experience, I want to know, you know, how you guys see these things, how you guys see relationships, how you guys see love, and how you manage to make it work or how you manage to not make it work. So first, I want to talk about how do y'all know or how have y'all known that y'all are in love?
Wow. First of all, I want to say how proud I am of you and all that, you know, and all that. I'm not getting away from the subject, but I'm very proud of you, and this sounds hot. And I want you to take your time when you're making the decision to take the moves that we have made. You know, I'm proud of you for doing what you do at this point of your life and filling yourself out and doing your own thing, you know, and you'll know when it's right. As far as knowing when you fall in love, wow, yeah, that's kind of
Really difficult.
When you start paying her bills.
Pretty much.
When you start dropping the bag, that's how you know you're in
Yeah,
love?
girl, here you go.
Pretty much.
How much is that rent? Okay, here you go.
Pretty much. But, you know,
Y'all paying rents out here?
when
Hey.
you get to the
It's
point,
been done.
I think when you get to the point where it's, you know, it's a give and take thing. And when you start to giving more of yourself to a situation and to a relationship,
Then what you're getting?
yeah, you're making more sacrifices to something that, you know, like for myself, it was something that I said I wouldn't do. You know, I mean, after the first marriage, it's definitely not something I would do again. But when you're falling in love, you can see yourself making different sacrifices and doing things that, you know, you may have not thought that you would be doing and is at that time. So that's one of the signs where you can say, well, my goodness, wow, I couldn't see myself doing this. Man, well, maybe this is something, you know. That's one of the signs for me.
What about you, Uncle Joe? What's one of your signs that you're in love?
When I'm in love, nothing can change what I'm doing.
What does that mean?
That means that I'm in this direction and I'm going this way. Okay, if there are red flags or anything, holler at me, and then I'll check them out and I'll move on.
So you saying like once you know you're in love once you're committed is what
Right.
you're saying. Got you. Got you. Once you make the decision. So I'm a little bit like that. I think my downfall a lot of times is that I'm either all the way in or I'm not in at all. Like, and there's a lot of times no middle ground, which is problematic. But I think that is the thing. Like, if I'm in it, I am in it. And then until I decide to be in that place or allow myself to be in that space, then it's just like it's nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when you
Once
you know, you
get a
try
little
to
closer
keep it.
the
You
mic.
try to keep a balance of what's happening with it. But you know, once you like again, when you see the scales start to tipping a little bit, and you give it a little bit more, then you know, like, wow. I mean, I really care about this situation.
Yeah.
This is, you know, it's something
And
I
don't
want
want to
do.
lose it. I
You
mean,
know, something I don't want to do. So that's a sign that, you know, I may be ready to make a deeper commitment here and see what's happening with it.
So how do you keep? We were talking a little bit about, like, you know, the scales, and how do you keep a situation balanced, or how do you know when it's balanced and it's even, and like the love is requited? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, ain't nothing ever even. You forget that shit.
60-40 is
Ain't
the
nothing
closest.
even. But I heard somebody talking today, and she was saying that she had to reevaluate. You know how that saying, "Happy wife is a happy life," or something, whatever. How it
Amen.
goes. She said that ain't fair to my husband. Because how am I going? He always trying to please me, and I don't consider nothing he's saying.
right.
I'm just gonna be happy wife. You gotta make me happy, bitch. Please, my back need rubbing. You ain't gonna. Oh no, I gotta be. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Sure.
you got to. And what she said made a lot of sense. It's like, don't just. I'm the one who always gotta make you happy. If you ain't making me happy, then guess what? Both of us ain't gonna be happy.
Exactly.
I ain't said
How many headaches you
and
gonna
it
have?
ain't never 50-50 or nothing like that.
no,
you can
no.
forget that crap.
60-40 is the closest.
This
I've
week
seen.
you might be 90, she might be 20. Next week you might, well, you know, it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
It ain't never, because that's real life, you know.
Yeah.
That's real life.
And
brother,
if you
because,
trying to keep count, like, well, I did this, then guess what? You may need to leave right now. Because
yeah.
if somebody keeping count, there ain't no keeping count.
Once you
on
start
nothing.
keeping score, I feel like it's all downhill.
It's
from
downhill from there.
And I think that's greater than just romantic relationships. Like, even in friendships, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we got to keep score. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's this? What's going on?
That's not
it's
the
important
way
to
it
keep
goes.
you know to allow each other to have their space though.
Yeah.
You I mean, there's some things that I have to have to myself. I mean, it's not no disrespect to the relationship, no disrespect to what we're doing, but and she knows this on the other hand, and this was known before we even decided to go to that level. You know, certain things that I have to have time to do. I mean, this is one of the things that I used to do. I used to bowl like 3 nights a week. And then bowling, that thanks to hanging out, being out with the guys.
Right.
Those nights, you know,
That's me.
they're not up for negotiation.
Discussion.
Yeah, no, not at all. No, not at all. But they know of that prior to, so you don't get too much flack with that. You know, it's a night that I go out. You know, I got a couple of guys that had clubs, you know, and do nightclubs, and I go in there and I spend time with them on
Right.
the slow nights or whatnot. And, you know what, this is a night I'm going to be out and I'm going to be there. So, I mean, at the same token, she has times when, you know, that time that she wants to spend with her parents or
Whatever.
girls' night thing, whatever. I totally, you know, I'm all for it because I need mines in return. And I know I am with mine. So you know, it's like, sure, baby, go ahead, do your thing. You know what I mean? You know, it's that space is important though. Mm-hmm. You gotta have that space, and then don't let it be infringed upon. And don't you try to, you know, stop her from doing the things that she might want to do. And I
But you
think
know,
you'd be good.
actually, all relationships are different. You have to culture them different ways. You know, certain things make people happy, and other things don't.
Yeah, 'cause we all
You know,
individuals.
so So, so you have to make it work around that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because what you wouldn't do, I can look at you and say, Joe, what the hell are you doing? I would never do that. But guess what? That's me.
That's
Right.
And if I say, Jarrell, why the hell you? That's to him. It don't matter because what pertains to me, how I feel, how he feel, how he feel, how he
Right.
feel,
We're all
it's
different.
different in how you react and treat and do. I wouldn't give that bitch that. Yeah, shut the fuck up, because I'm giving it because that's me, or whatever, or vice versa. How it go? Because everything is how we, how you are.
exactly
You
what
can't
you accept.
equate that what Mike do. Well, Mike, I don't see why you would do it because you ain't me, motherfucker.
That's right. That's it. Goddamn. One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's been like that.
One man's trash is also
don't-
another man's trash.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
I'm joking.
trash is trash sometimes.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Garbage.
I know what you're saying.
I'm gonna switch gears really quick. So all of you have daughters, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to know from each of you how you feel like your relationships with your daughters has how do you feel those relationships have grown, and how do you feel like your role in their lives has impacted them in how they date and the relationships that they have?
Okay, well, I got 3 daughters, and they've all grown up to be really close to their dad, and they've seen me through 2 marriages, but at the same time, I got, time to spend time with them, whether it be with their mom or with another woman, and they've seen me in both of those relationships, and it never has presented a problem. Of course, they're going to be a little bit biased. Dad can't do wrong, so it makes it kind of hard sometimes for the other woman, the wife-to-be or the ex-wife or whatnot, because daughters are going to be, daughters. If they're daddy's girls, then, they're going to, always, side with their
I don't
dad.
know, Uncle Mike. I feel like specifically Brittany and Bianca would take your Coco side over yours, actually.
Oh, as far as taking sides, it's probably between the two
I
of us.
don't know that Coco had to win them over. I think.
She got that. She got that. I was just speaking in terms as far as them getting along with the woman in my life. They get along. I'm saying they get along pretty good with the woman in my life, and they get closer. Sometimes you're absolutely right. Sometimes they are closer with the wife and share things with the wife. But when it comes down to it, no, they will. They will definitely come to me and say, Dad, listen. Well, I talked to Coco and I said this with Coco, but no, they wouldn't
Locked
take.
in. Y'all locked in.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's
All right,
without question. That's why tonight she was like, God, I wish I was off tonight. I really sure would like to see Jarrell and go over there. and
I'll
stuff
definitely see it
like
before
that.
I go back.
But no, they won't side. They won't side with them. They will definitely be on their dad's side.
Okay. So let me reposition the question for all 3 of y'all. Is there anything that you wish you could have done differently with your girls specifically in raising them to be the women that they are?
Well, actually, my oldest daughter, Jonisha, was named after me, and
So this is not your oldest daughter. That's your youngest daughter.
That's your baby.
That's the
That's your
youngest
baby.
daughter.
Sonata
Don't
is
put him
your
on the
oldest
spot
daughter.
like that. You gonna call him out like that?
Don't worry, I got your back, Uncle
She
Joe.
might
I
come
got your
visit
back.
you
I got
Joe,
your
don't
back.
worry about it. We old. Just, CRS, can't remember shit. Don't worry about it. We good. We good. Don't worry about it. Just,
You covered, see? You covered.
covered. you
You said you mentioned youngest. You mentioned youngest daughter. We know.
Yeah.
now you know what? Sonetta was my oldest daughter,
Got it right.
and I loved her very much. But Sonetta was like a mother to me.
To you?
Yeah. Because she would say, now, Daddy, you can't be doing nothing like that. Now, Daddy, you too old to be doing. Sonetta was something. she was special. She was Stephanie's daughter, my daughter.
She had definitely a strong personality.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what do you
she-
think you could have done differently? Or would you do anything different?
A bit stronger.
In what way?
And talking to her and explaining things to her in the way that I think she should have learned how to be a woman.
Yeah.
You know, my daughter is strong-minded, and whatever she want to do, she's going to do it.
Correct.
You knew her.
Very well.
Yeah, what about you? Is there anything that you would have done differently or would do differently with your daughters?
Yeah, I focus more on things that I always prided myself on being somebody who, whatever I say I'm going to do, I think you know this. If I say, hey, Drew, I'm finna take you here, I live up to commitment. That's something I've always just done. You know, that was who I was. I thought I was anyway. Until I was talking to Drea, and she was saying, you said you was going to do something and you never did, and that hurt me. And I didn't remember it.
Yeah.
And that was something I'm like, wow. You know, that hit me hard because it was like, that wasn't how I saw myself or whatever. If I said, I'm finna take you to go or whatever, and she said, we sitting there waiting with our little bag, spending night bags.
They will remind you.
And you did,
Oh, absolutely.
They
you know,
will
it's like-
remind you.
it's like, you know, I said, wow. You know, I didn't exactly remember, but I believe everything you telling me. And I apologize. You know, you know, what else can you do? I don't remember that. But if I always knew that if I said something, I always try to live up to it, you know, or I'd call and say, and I ain't going to be able to because this is happening or whatever. And when she told me that, it was like, wow, you know, I didn't remember it. But, you know, but now we talk all the time. We political junkies. Both my daughters, you know, we talk, you know, hey, what's going on?
And I also have a degree in political science because he's a policy and political junkie.
But no,
Very nice.
I think
Yes.
I think that you gotta try and live up to the things you tell your kids as they're growing up because they remember that shit. You know?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like you might be because you're off in your world. Sometimes you working, doing blah blah blah. It don't matter. But when you tell a child something,
You have to
gotta
keep
live
it
up to
going.
Follow
Yes.
through with it.
Because that's one of the, I think,
That's-
one of the phrases Dre always hated that I said when I said,
We'll see. I hated it.
because
I hated
that
it.
left me an opening. Right. Dad, I need these gym shoes. Can you? We'll see. And don't say we'll see.
Because we'll see almost always meant no. Like,
No, it did not. It did not. It almost meant you. I knew right then whether I was going to do it or not, but I always left that opening for we'll see. So if something popped up. But generally, I think every time I said we'll see, I already knew I was going to do it. But I still said, we'll see. And I always said, until the young guys I used to work with, I said, use we'll see. Don't care your kids. You know, you're going to do something. Yeah, I'm going to come over and buy you them Jordans. Just say, we'll see. You didn't promise them you're going to get them damn $600 gym shoes. Just, we'll see.
Stop trying to tell these people about loopholes. We don't need no loopholes in parenting. So
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
this actually leads me to what I want to talk about next. I think communication, especially if we're talking about relationships. So one of the things that, and this is more so geared towards parenting, but I remember when I graduated from college, I was trying to find a job and whatever. I needed a car, and I was telling him about it, and it was that he didn't necessarily say we'll see about helping me get a car, but I felt that we'll see energy. You know what I mean? So I was
That
like,
little sliver.
and I've always been a pretty independent person. So like I was like, all right, I know what this is. So I went and got me a car. It was a terrible deal, like a used car lot. You know what I mean? Like
Wasn't that
86%
great?
interest. You know what I mean?
that gray.
Yep. What was it? That little truck. I keep on saying Durango. It wasn't Durango.
I
It was
remember it was something like that.
Yeah.
He drove the wheels off of it.
Yeah.
I actually had two of them. Actually, the same color. And
I
everything.
remember a couple of times going to get him, pick him up, him
wheels
and his
off
car.
Both of us. Come on, help both of us out. But I got the car because I was like, I need a car. You know what I mean? And like, Dad gave me that Will C energy, so I'm gonna just do it. And then when I got the car, he was like, I was gonna help you get the car. You know what I mean? I'm like, you didn't tell me that. Like,
He said, "We'll see."
and I'm not the person that's gonna wait till you decide. I'm like, okay, I've communicated my need. If I'm not feeling mentally, you know what I mean, we on the same
You're going to
wavelength,
get it.
then I'm gonna just make it happen. You know what I mean? And it was to my detriment, you know what I mean, because it was I was upside down pretty quickly in that car loan, you know what I mean? But that leads me to a conversation about communication. How do you manage communicating with your partner, with the person that you with, in those tough times, you know what I mean?
As far as your spouse,
Yes.
that's probably one of the stronger points, and what kind of prompted me to go ahead and you do marriage the second time is because we had open line of communication, and that helped us a lot down the line. The mistakes I made in the past. As far as even with prior marriage, I was able to actually talk to her about, and we came across to the point to where one thing we would always do was there are things that she said as that we were both said as deal breakers, and as long as we could communicate with each other, what we do is just try to be open and be transparent with the relationship, and just always be able to talk about it. No matter how bad things got or whatever we were up against, we had to be communicating to both of us with have an ideal of ways that we would get out of it or work through it. But if I'm sitting back and I'm feeling a certain way about something and you don't know about it, then, that's just you're gonna wonder what's going on with me, and vice versa. I'm gonna wonder what's going on with you, and shit can linger like that.
Yeah.
That's when shit starts snowballing, and
Problems develop.
Yeah, problems occur, and if you just open up those lines of communication, sit down, talk about it. Even if it's not solved at that point, at least you got an ideal, and you work out a game plan to keep it from becoming something that's a deal breaker or causing more problems. So just talk about it. So it sounds easy, but all the time it's not. There's some shit that you do that you definitely don't want to talk to your spouse about.
And that's actually what I want to talk about too. Like, how do you have those? Because you're talking about how important transparency is, and I think that's completely true.
Yeah.
How do y'all, or how have y'all found ways to have the hard conversations? Because me personally, I will have the hard conversations, but it'll be like, I'm like, okay, let me find the right way to say it. Let me find
easy.
I want to ease.
Yes.
I mean, the longest ease that you could ever ease, the ease.
That's for real. I mean, get to that. That's for real. But
how
some
do
shit
you-
that I do, I'll take to my grave, though. If I know it's going to hurt a person
Yes.
to that degree,
Yeah.
or it's going to cause that much of a problem,
Yeah, certain things
certain things they'll just stay
And
within
certain
me.
things
Yeah, it
need
won't
be
come out.
unsaid.
Yeah.
Y'all think so?
Hell yeah.
I hear a lot of women say that they want the full truth in order to make
They
their
say
own decision.
that, but don't believe that shit.
Oh, hell no.
He's the best.
Don't believe that shit.
Miles came through with the cups. Thank you so much,
You
man.
are the best, my brother. You are the best.
Now, can we take a shot?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's tradition, isn't it?
Shout for the bros in the hood who didn't make it.
We've been doing this for years.
Literally, quite literally. I told while we were putting up these shots, I told my uncles that they each get 3 weddings apiece. Uncle Joe has run out of weddings for me.
He's done.
Uncle Mike got one more. So y'all I'm keeping track, all right? So only 3
me.
apiece, all right?
Trust me, I'm done. That
Yeah, yeah.
Got to.
I'm done.
Yeah.
He on 2 over here. I want
Chef
the
is
first
on
one.
2. Chef is on 2. Larry's on 2. So, you know,
This one promised me this is the last one.
yeah.
I'm
But this is
only
not,
on
is it 3 for you
2.
or 4? I mean, really, this is
4.
4.
4.
See,
You got to do it till you get it right.
Get it right.